NFT Strategy. I've actually already done a video on this, but I'm just going to touch on some other points again. It's been a wee while since I've done that and I've learned a bit, and there's some other things that would be cool to touch on. So I shared a post about this one. I saw it on FaZe Bank's page and he got it from someone else. If you're buying or minting an NFT, what can be good is if you can buy, say, 3 of this NFT. Once you've bought 3, you say you buy them for 0.1 ETH each. So that's a total cost of 0.3. You instantly list one for 0.3 in the hopes that that sells. Now, if that sells, that's the total cost already given back to you. So you've now got 2 NFTs, and you've got your initial investment back. I've got 0.3 back in my wallet, and I've got 2 NFTs sitting there, which I can now do what I want. I could list them and start making profit, or I could hold for a while and just see what happens. So this is like a risk-free approach to NFTs, really. If you can sell it, sometimes it might take a bit to be able to sell something for 3 times what you bought one for. But that is just a good reminder to take profit when you can, and hopefully get to the point where you've taken your initial investment out completely and you're just playing around with money that you've made in this space. So just going to touch on what to look for when you are looking at new projects or existing projects and just trying to figure out what you want to buy. Now, to be honest, it's getting harder and harder with new projects. There's just so many of them and they all seem the same. There's like probably 1,000 different versions of like Bored Apes or ape related projects, and cats, and off like CryptoPunks reversed, and all sorts of projects, and it is definitely important to do some research before you're buying some of these NFTs, because if you are putting 0.1 ETH into an NFT at the moment, that's about 450 New Zealand dollars. So it's not money that you just want to throw around and gamble. So first point, what's the community like? What's the vibe in the Discord? Are people talking about the floor price all the time? Are they spamming messages saying delist? And some floor price talk is good, but too much spam is kind of a red flag. Is the Discord positive, or is it just people spamming and grinding to try and get a high level to get on the whitelist? And how did you find out about the Discord? Were you spammed 100 times on Facebook and Twitter with these links trying to get into a Discord? Because if that's the case, people are just trying to get their invites out so that they can get on the whitelist as well. Those kind of more hype projects, and if they hype, then they're probably going to crash too on the other side. Again, is the art any good? Do you like it? Does it seem like other people like it? Is it 3D? Is it 2D? Also, where is the data stored? Is it on a centralized server? Is it on-chain with the NFT, or is it on like IPFS? Because depending on where your NFT art or the information behind the NFT is stored, if it is just on a server somewhere, someone could decide that they didn't want to run the project anymore and could flick a switch, and then you've just got like an NFT or something there with probably no information behind it, so you may no longer have even your picture. Does the project have a roadmap? Is there utility behind the NFT? Have they thought long term about it? Have they mentioned what they're going to do with the profits? Because some of these projects are pulling in huge amounts of money, and while you're looking at the roadmap, it's a good idea to check out the founders and if they're doxed. So doxed just means have they revealed their identities? Generally, I wouldn't touch projects anymore that don't have doxed founders, because there's just so many rug pull projects out there. So rug pull, they sell out and then they just disappear. And then you've got an NFT that's pretty much just worthless. Make sure that the founders are doxed. Then you can actually have a look into them and their background. Do they actually seem legit? Have they had any successful NFT projects in the past? Have they had any successful companies in the past? Because you are about to invest, a few $100s or a few $1,000s in them. So you'll want to know that you are confident in what you're investing in. The price. So I touched on before, have they kind of indicated what they want to do with their profits? Because if there's 10,000 NFTs at 0.1 ETH, which is about 450 New Zealand dollars at the moment, that's 4.4 million New Zealand dollars or 4.5 million New Zealand dollars if they sell 10,000 NFTs. What are they going to do with all of that money? But going on from that, if this is a new project and they're charging more than 0.1 ETH for an NFT, for me that's probably a red flag. Anything above that, if they haven't proven themselves, it's quite a lot of money. Like Trillionaire Thugs, for example, were 0.3. Big Cats were 0.44. It kind of screams cash grab, and it makes me a bit uncomfortable about it. However, if this is a project that is linked to something else, or it might be their second mint, then maybe I'd be happy to spend a little bit more money if the first one seemed to be successful, or the floor price of that one has gone up a bit. So that is another point, is the project linked to any other projects? And by linked, like, for example, Fluff and Seekers, there's going to be some sort of link there with Fluff and Silo, and that seems like would be a safe one. But there's other times when a project might just be saying, hey, we've got you whitelisted for another project. Be careful of those ones too. They don't always necessarily pan out that well. But other times they can be a great way to make a bit of extra money. How many NFTs are they minting if it's a new project? 10,000 is getting harder and harder to sell out, especially with thousands or 10,000s or hundreds of thousands of these projects. Constantly having 10,000 NFTs dropping it's getting a bit unsustainable and probably less likely to sell out. So just keep that in mind too. If you're a bit unsure on a project, maybe if you are whitelisted, maybe take your time, maybe watch initially, see how the sales seems to be going. If it seems to be quite, picking up quite quickly, maybe it is worthwhile. But if they seem pretty slow, I'd be a bit more hesitant as well. As I said at the start, you are putting $500 plus into some of these projects, so you want to make sure you know a bit about them and you're not just gambling your money. What's the community like? Do they have a roadmap? What's the price of these things? Are the founders doxed? Where's the information stored? A couple of other things that I did mention in there too, but yeah, just a few things to definitely look into before you buy something.